Welcome back to Dino's Garage for what is arguably a special edition, because obviously I'm not in my garage, I'm actually in my kitchen. The reason being that I've not long finished vinyl wrapping the VFR800 Crossrunner panels, both the left and right hand grey panels. But yeah, not without some pain. You will see in the videos that you're about to see me the morning after really looking very tired, because without success I had tried to do the panel in one whole vinyl wrap over this part here, and yeah, it wasn't really with much success. So I had the idea to actually take the vinyl wrap and cut this circle out and then put it over the top of the panel, and I think, hopefully think, that you guys would agree that this has come out really nice and looks really nice. It's in a sort of a flat matte or satin pearlescent white finish, and really, yeah, it will look great when it's on the bike. So I'll show you what that looks like once we get both panels on the bike. But if you're interested in vinyl wrapping motorcycle panels, then please stay tuned for this edition, because I have gone through quite a lot of pain, not real pain, but you know, pain all the same, trying to get to this end result. The first one was really quite difficult, and I really learned how to apply heat with my hairdryer and really sort of get out those creases, and the second one was a lot easier, but still it's very time consuming when you go around the back. But you'll find that out as you watch this video, so stay tuned to this edition of Dino's Garage and vinyl wrapping. And if you do like Dino's Garage, there are almost 70 other videos now for you to watch, from the BMW CBR, there's so many YZF 750, the CBR 600s, the VN800, the VN900, the VFRs. So yeah, have a look at my other videos, and hopefully you'll subscribe to my channel, because obviously this won't be the last bike. So thanks very much for watching. And so welcome back to Dino's Garage. For me it's the morning after. I tried 3 times yesterday over several hours to try and make this vinyl wrap work, and the problematic area is this circle here where the emblem sits in. Now we can see I've removed the emblem and I put the vinyl wrap over, pushed it into this area. I thought this was going to be the biggest problem, but it wasn't at all. Actually, what's the biggest problem is trying to get the vinyl wrap to lay down around this radius, which kind of forces the vinyl wrap to gather in a certain area. So I eventually got it to stick and lay down into this sort of little upturn here, but as it come around this bit, it began to gather. I warmed up with a hairdryer and I was able to pull and stretch and take out the wrinkles, but then that pulled it away from this lip here that goes up, and this lip is higher than this point here, so really become a problematic area, and it defeated me, to be honest, as much as I tried. So I'm going to have to look at this a different way now, and what I'm going to try and do is a few things. I'm going to try and take the vinyl and cut a circle out, and then see if I can lay the vinyl over that and have a sort of circle cut around this area, and then lay it down. That will probably have its own problems, and you know, we'll see how that goes. Right, so first up is to find something about that radius or slightly bigger. Now this glass seems to be possibly perfect. It certainly is bigger than this lip, but not as big as the radius it drops down. But if I do cut it that big and then get it to lay down over there, it may then, because it's already a cut circle, lay down that much easier. I'll see if I've got something just slightly bigger than that, but if not, I might experiment with a circle cut that size and see how we go. And actually I've got this glass which is slightly bigger So I'm actually going to try that one first and then see how that works. So actually, I mean, I could try and cut that freehand, but I don't trust myself to cut that freehand. So what I'm actually going to do is take a very sharp knife, and I'm just going to use the glass like I did with the pen, and I'm going to come round and I'm going to cut that against the glass. Always cutting hard against the edge of the glass itself. And I'm going around twice now, just to make sure that see, I've made a mistake there already. Talking and not concentrating. I actually went round and just come off. So I've already ruined that piece, unfortunately. I'll show you why in case you didn't see that, but just there, cut nicely round, and just didn't go hard with the blade of the knife against the glass as I'm talking, and I just ran off very slightly and it's basically pulled away. So what we can do is use this as an experiment anyway, so let's see what happens. It's not entirely wasted. What I'm going to do is just bring that glass, it's the tiniest little amount, but of course it all matters. But I'm just going to snip that bit around, bring it back in. That's the bit I'm talking about. That's how much I went off, that much. But it all matters, because now we don't have a nice clean radius that goes off very slightly. But like I say, we use this as an experimental piece. Now ideally, whatever you're laying vinyl onto needs to be really clean, because if you get any little particles of anything between your vinyl wrap and the piece that you're sticking down onto, they will show up like a tiny little grain of sand underneath, but it shows up a lot. Hence why we have the cloth and the panel wipe. So we'll go back to where we were yesterday. Wipe this clean of any dust and debris. If I can get this bit right, that's most of the battle there. You can already see that I've got this issue where it wants to gather. So I'm not happy with that already. The circle's too big. It's funny really, when you put this glass on there, it goes just over that, but it's a lot bigger. I think we could come back to this glass, but we're also going to get this problem with this. I think we can overcome that with heat and stretching. You can already see that little snag there, just, you know, again, it's just the details. So let's see if we can save this bit of vinyl. Let's have a look. Let's see if we can still use Yeah, you should be able to. Right. What I'll do is I'll cut the circle from here. Got plenty there. So I'll cut the circle from here. Again, panel wipe off. Especially around the areas that you know are going to be the hardest to stick. Little edges, little returns, they're going to be the toughest. So there's the circle laid down on top, and as you can see that sort of works fairly well because it looks quite even around the grey, and I think that's the key thing, making sure that your circle that you cut obviously lays around with an even band of grey. So at the moment that appears to be okay. Now I'm just going to try and wrap the whole thing and see how it comes out. Now I've got this little rise again here, so everywhere else seems to be okay, but as you can see you've got this sort of gathering here, and this isn't going to work of course if this continues, but what I'm going to have to do is warm it up and stretch it and try and pull it down, and hopefully we can do that, but I'll have to get the hairdryer on that. So the thing I've learned with vinyl is heat is everything. If you're sort of new to trying to lay down vinyl, you can easily think I've got a wrinkle here and I just can't get rid of that and I'm never going to get that out, and you know you try with your squeegee and whatever and it just won't go away. But actually once you heat it up, it softens the vinyl, and then you can actually get that crease out of there. Now if I really wanted to I can lift that vinyl up actually and get rid of that crease even more so, and I will do. So yeah, when you get to these points where you think it's just impossible and things aren't working, actually you can work with the vinyl and pull it off and do things over and over again until they work in your favour to some degree. But it seems like that circle is worked out quite well. It's fairly even. By cutting around and then putting that over the top, I've got none of that gathering issue. I've got none of the issue where it won't sit and stick into that area. So providing it looks good from above when it's on the bike and neat, then that's the best compromise that I can really come up with at the moment, and that seems to work. So I'm going to get on and vinyl wrap the rest of it, and then we'll see what it looks like once I've finished. And as I said, there are areas where you get this and you think it's impossible, you've messed up, that's it, but it isn't. Just apply heat. And if you have to, give it a little stretch. And again, you can see that's still in there, so we'll apply some more heat. Stretch it over. And now that's it gone, perfectly gone. And if it falls in another place, just bring it back. Because you will find, as you work in the vinyl, it might wrinkle in one place, and then you'll get rid of it, and then it will wrinkle in another. But it is a little bit like magic in the sense that you can, what seems like it's ruined, you can work it out. So there's a little wrinkle in there, and you could accept that and carry on and do everything. But if you're fussy and you say, I'm not going to accept that, I don't know if you can just see that line there picking up, then work some heat. And stretch it out. There's a tiniest, what I call, scar in there now, and I could work that out if I wanted to, but it's the tiniest little blemish, but it's virtually gone. So again, just like the other side, we've got this little crease here. Now I can lift this back up again. And don't be afraid to do that. If you're not happy with something, lift it back up. Get some heat in there. And basically, don't accept second best. There you go, that's that blemish gone now. And then we just bring that, stretch that back down to where we were. So you can easily vinyl wrap and get all these little blemishes and just accept it as you go. But if you don't and you work it, it doesn't take too long to get rid of it. But I spent too many hours last night doing this wrong to now learn from all my errors and experience. See that? So we've actually got rid of every single wrinkle that was in that area now, and we're already working over to this edge. So we're getting there, step by step we're getting there. And this will be our next area that's problematic, because again we got this and this and this, so we've got three different angles sort of fighting against us. So we need to pull this up and stretch back. I'm losing things to grip hold of on this bottom section, which is frustrating. You can see we're nearly there. We're nearly there with the biggest section of it. I just need to now work these little wrinkles out over these edges, and then we're coming over to the last edge. And again, peel back to where you're not happy. If you see any blemishes or anything you're not happy with, be prepared to pull it back. And then stick it down again. And you can see that's all gone. Looking nice. So we're just now coming over to these final edges now. Still got to work some bit up here, and we've still got to do this section here, but it's nowhere near as big as this, but it's arguably tighter in there, so we again will have some fight on our hand to get that to drop over there. I can feel that's not going to be easy because it's tight in here. Trying to pull that down. I actually need to cut a slit there because we want almost, see that? Now that will stretch down into there. that will stretch down into there. If I cut a slit right up there, of course it'd be easy, but then we gotta, if we cut too far, we've ruined it. Ruined everything we've done. Do it with heat. See that? Because it's warmed up so nicely. Heat gives you the ability to just stretch it more than it would normally want to be stretched. Like I say, this is a really thick vinyl, so I'm learning with this vinyl. I've never vinyl wrapped in my life. And so there we are. That's about almost an hour's work, but I learned a lot from yesterday's mistakes and errors and start overs, and yeah, looking really nice. I think having to cut that circle out was the only way. It was a compromise, but it was the only way. Let's just lift it up and have a look. So not quite finished, still got some edges to do. Got to pull round on the edges and get it over onto the back face and stretch it right over so it doesn't sort of peel off on the face again. But yeah, really happy with that. It's a lovely finish, that satin pearlescent. I really like that, which is why I've persevered for so many hours, because that was a result I was hoping for. Like I say, compromise with that circle, having to cut that out, but I think once it's on the bike you won't really look and worry about that with the emblem on there, and any grey that shows around the emblem will match grey further up on the bike. So yeah, happy with that. Just gotta, like I say, finish around the edges, and then I suppose there's the other one, but I should take a break now.